Welcome, dear friends, to Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m., nourishing our souls with the Spirit of Truth. The Spirit of Truth is this book that came from on high, literally, because the Spirit authors are many and they are very elevated, like the Spirit Meimei who comes to us to bring us to the presence of the Christ. The Spirit of Truth is this Christ Himself. He came to the earth to guide us, to model, and we need several lessons to join him into this new way of living our lives. We're learning. We're in the school of the earth. And today, Meimei, through Chico, Xavier, and Waldo Vieira, two mediums 60 years ago, they brought us messages that are unprecedented. Time and again, they talk about think of others, think less of yourself. We've been here together for, I'll tell you precisely, because I just need to double check the number, but it's been 88 nights. We've been together for 88 days in a row. And since the very beginning, all these different superior spirits repeat the lesson. As we heard Paul of Tarsus saying, if we speak the language of the angels and don't feel love and are not charitable, we have nothing. Today, Meimei inspired herself in a particular item of the New Testament that is quoted in the Gospel according to Spiritism by Kardec. It's item 7, chapter 18. Chapter 18 is Many are called, few are chosen. Emmanuel recently talked about the fact that we're often called, but do we choose? Item 7 is Matthew chapter 7, verses 24 to 27. Therefore, everyone who hears my words, said Jesus, and practices them may be compared to a wise man who built his house upon a rock. When the rain fell, the rivers flooded, and the winds blew and battered the house. It did not fall because it had been built upon the rock. But anyone who hears my words and does not practice them is like a foolish man who built his house upon the sand. When the rain fell, the rivers flooded, and the winds blew and battered it. It caved in, and great was its ruin. How many of us know it and we don't follow through? It's so good to become obedient. Some people have this aversion to obedience, reminding themselves of the times when dictators came and told people to do crazy things. But in the Gospel according to Spiritism, Kardec rescues the beauty of the true virtue, obedience, as the consent of our reasoning. That in the Holocaust was not obedience. That was inferiority. They were not giving consent of the reasoning. They were blind. They were fascinated. Only through reasoning, we don't fall trap to obsession. Reasoning in truth. And that's why you and I are here together with Meimei, who is going to tell us about in the presence of the Christ. More than ever on earth, we need the presence of the Christ, his love, his compassion, his kindness, his generosity. And Meimei, this educator of all of us today, she says, you suffer asking for relief and inebriate yourself in prayer. as one who rises to heaven by the sublime ladder of blessing. You pray for the presence of the Christ, but you do not find a master before whom you would surrender yourself. But you know that in the heights, the eternal arms sustain your life. And while you're touched by the melody of trust, you feel your soul is crowned with light in the glow of the stars. You supplicate in prayer for the very happiness and the happiness of those who you love more, obtaining solace and restoring energy. But when you return from the divine excursion that you take in thought, descend your eyes into the valley of those who suffer. You will surprise those for whom you take a crumb of your comfort, will always express in some way the acquisition of perfect joy. The mutilated in hidden tears, the sick left to the nightmares of the night, the unhappy in despair, and the little ones who huddle before the home of no one. Discovering them, you certainly will not only extend their sore eyes, but also your own hands, learning the redeeming science of assistance. Then you will understand that you can also distribute on earth the treasure of love you implore from heaven. Who knows? Perhaps today, penetrating the room without a light of someone sick that the world forgot, on the pallet of anguish, you will find the Lord, watching over the hours, telling you with ineffable tenderness, "What did you call me for? I am here." The presence of the Christ. We look forward to being around his tender presence. He never demands anything from us. He understands us. He loves us. We long for that. We're thirsty for it. But where are we going to find it? Meimei is saying, clear cut, that as we supplicate for that very happiness, we need to extend that happiness to those who are suffering more than we are. If we want to find joy, we need to give it. If we want to find tranquility, we need to make it. And we won't do it by giving it alone to ourselves or our loved ones. She talks about the redeeming science of assistance. The book, The Spirit of Truth, once again reminds you and I that there's no escape. We're not going to find joy, happiness, redemption by thinking of ourselves alone like many people do. Many people tell me, "Vanessa, I'm going to do this silent retreat for 20 days. Great. What are you aiming? Oh, I think to find happiness. Well, good luck. Because in retreating, we don't find it. It's only when we reach out to the world. But isn't it worthwhile doing these retreats and prayers and visualizations, meditations? Yes, but not only. Did Jesus meditate? Yes. And reason tells that meditation is vital. So we gain inner control, inner strength, organize ourselves, our emotions. When we pray, it's important. When we visualize beautiful things, visualizing the good for the world and us. But is it enough? No. We need to find ways to spread the good, the joy to everyone. Meimei is telling us that we're going to find the very presence of the Master when we are drying out the tears of people, bringing relief to the hearts that are troubled, consolation to those who are sick and worried. We need to do more. There are so many ideas. You may be asking, Vanessa, you give us every night exercises at 11 p.m. But today, we're going to find ourselves in the presence of the Christ, but not in prayer, in true action. In the next 24 hours, you and I are invited to be in the presence of the Christ by seeking someone. It could be an organization, and reach out to them. So here are some ideas in the world of pandemic. I know, and you know, we all know that we still need to keep a distance, use masks, but we need to reach out. It's hard to do one-on-one. It's okay if you don't know any homeless or any particular family that needs assistance. Go to the internet. Find organizations like Birthright throughout the United States and the world. They help women not commit abortion and secure a better childhood in the first years of life. They have a wish list. Bring your child or a partner, a friend. Go to the shopping and deliver it. That's a step. Or organizations like OAR in the United States that help those who leave prisons and usually don't have anything at hand. If they were arrested during summertime in shorts and they live in winter, they are released in the winter time, they don't have special coats or clothes to help themselves. But this organization OAR does that. They have a wish list. For more than 11 years, we have been working with this organization here in Northern Virginia, and you can do the same there. You can find organizations like in shelters. They have people coming along, and here's a special invitation. Mother's Day is coming throughout the world. Usually we think of ourselves. We think of gifts we want to give, we want to receive. But what about the teenage mothers who are in shelters, homeless? I've met a few of them, and it's dramatic. They need help, they need support. What about organizing with your family some gifts, calling the organization to drop off? Maybe we're not going to meet them one-on-one, but it doesn't matter. When we prepare the gifts with loving messages, put some vibrations and prayers, feel it, and feel that you're giving them a hug as they receive their gifts, the donations. In that encounter, we're going to find the presence of the Christ. Or send some pizzas to emergency rooms to doctors and nurses who are extenuated in their daily work during this pandemic, to urgent cares, finding ways to reach out to the hearts who are troubled, stressed, concerned. And like Chico Xavier, if you only have $1, find someone to reach out and give that dollar. The work of leaving our comfort zone, our selfishness, that's the comfort zone, which is so blinding because it's not comfortable at all. When we leave that and share the concession of time that God granted us to help others, we're going to find ourselves hearing this ineffable, tender voice of the Christ saying to us, "What did you call me for? I am here." Friends, this is our exercise in the next 24 hours. Let us join forces and evoke the presence of the Christ in our loving, charitable, kind actions. We hope you feel the joy of this moment, and we wish to see you again tomorrow here at Cardiac Radio at 11 p.m. Thank you, friends.